Hello and welcome to Yours and Mine's. I'm your host DanManMtn, and on this show I tour your personal builds from the Geek and Sundry Minecraft server, which you can access by subbing to Geek and Sundry on Twitch. This show streams every other week on Twitch TV/DanManMtn, and then goes up on YouTube. Search for DanManMtn. While we tour these great works, I will have the builders come on with me so we can talk about their builds, their inspiration for them, and what it means to them. Today I have Polarbear. This is our second try at this because for some reason his audio couldn't be heard the first time. But Polarbear, welcome back to my show as our first repeat contestant.
Repeat. Hopefully everyone can hear me this time.
Hopefully so. We're gonna go on the premise since the audio seems good. So today we are visiting, and it sounds like they can hear you. Excellent. Today we're visiting Polarbear's big pit, but before we see it, tell me about the edging you made. Where did you get the idea from it? And so
this was a shirt design that I really liked. So I was looking for I was looking for floor designs to put in the actual pit. And design I saw on a t-shirt, but I also saw it in a YouTube, and I really liked this. I decided it would be a better border design than a floor design for the actual pit. And plus, I like the interconnecting roads.
Very nice. But now we get to the big pit. Do you know how big it is? Do you have blocks by blocks?
It is 196 by 250.
By 2 what? Sorry.
256.
Wow.
It's yeah.
And then it's obviously all the way down to bedrock, which you've
so
put some glass on so it can be walked on.
Yep. So it's 64 blocks high. And as I said, 196 by 256 about.
Wow. And why in God's name would you build a giant pit like this?
Well, because Spigot kind of messes with the spawning mechanics of the hostile mobs. And so I wanted to make sure that I get consistent rates any farms I built. And so the lower you build the mob farm to the ground, to faster the spawn rates will be. And
how did you build it? I understand you have some sort of bombing contraption.
You can make flying machines with redstone, stuff like observers and pistons and slime. And I was using those to fly back and forth for this area with TNT dropping, which would explode all the area.
And how long did that take?
It took about 2 days.
Wow. That's not bad for this kind of pit. Usually it takes people a long time, but I guess with the
by hand it would take forever.
Yeah.
And of course I had mistakes with TNT flying back into machines and destroying them, so I had to keep on building them and rebuilding.
Oof.
But worked out in the end, so that's all I'm worried about.
So lots to see in here, but first I want to take a look at your 2 chests here. We have the standard double chest, which looks really nice. I mean, you really did a great job. Really looks accurate. The color too.
Yep, I wanted a regular, like the standard vanilla style chest, but I also wanted a little border around it, like the ender chest on the side. Wanted to match it, somewhat, so it has an iron kind of look, iron like outfitting, whatever you want to call it, on the outside. And plus, I wanted the latch to stand out.
Very cool. And then, of course, the ender chest here.
Yep. And this, the layout for this was somewhat off of the texture pack I used. It doesn't match exactly, but it was a bit closer than anything else.
Yeah. It's very cool. And I like your little road here.
Yeah. My plan is to have the roads going in between each of the builds, though I think I'm going to have to reroute some of them because I've built some of the farms in odd places.
You can have a little walking path along it. Very nice.
Yep. My plan is to have 2 sidewalks, one on each side, and then, pathways for maybe I'll build cars on here.
Ooh,
or something.
Cool. All right, so show me some of your big giant farms.
Okay, we'll start on the corner here. Over here we have a fully automated sugarcane farm.
Sugar.
That way I can always be in supply of sugar or paper for rockets or books or, what have you. Or trading with the villagers to get emeralds.
Very nice.
And
so
between
do you know the rate you get?
A
lot.
A lot. Enough to keep this double chest full forever.
Very nice.
Actually, it's more than likely it's probably backed up too. But yeah. I was going to plan on making it look like the sugarcane, but I felt that was a little bit too much work. So I just left it the green.
After digging the pit, you just got lazy.
Yeah.
I see.
In between here, I had 4 machines for duplicating, not duplicating, but using bone meal on the 2 tall flowers. That way you can have lots of dyes. I'll be rebuilding them at some point.
Gotcha.
And
cactus farm.
Yep. Cactus.
How does this one work?
You see the iron bars in between each of the cactus parts? Those, whenever a cactus grows, it checks around itself to see if there's anything blocking it, and if it does, that newly grown cactus block will break and it will fly off in a random direction, and the iron bars will help stop it flying too much and will hopefully drop down the center. Because if it flies over too much on either side, it'll hit the other cactuses and it will just destroy itself.
So I think we're seeing some cactus bits raining down.
If you come down here, you'll see how it's backed up already, because this double chest is already full, and so are each of the hoppers down here.
Gotcha.
And this is so I can get the green dyes.
Excellent.
And then from that I can make the lime dyes and everything else.
Very cool.
Next to it, the plan for this wall is going to be the rest of the crop farms, like the beets, potatoes, and food
Gotcha.
plants like that.
Mm-hmm.
And those are going to be more than likely in a hexagonal or octagonal or whatever sided building in multiple layers. The same fashion as the going all the way up.
So you're like big aggro, putting the little guy out of work.
Yeah.
You'll be filling up Gilmore. We'll get a contract with you to fill up the Gilmore's trading post.
I try to beat TK in filling the rocket chest, but usually he beats me.
Gotcha.
Or the rockets or the gunpowder, but he's beaten me lately. And that's what this is for. This is a creeper farm. This produces only creepers.
Oh, I like this one because they die here, right?
Yep. Oops.
Excellent. You fell in.
We'll see.
You missed one.
Every once in a while. Yeah, it's a lot of big areas, and so I will find myself falling in between.
Yeah, how long did it take you to put just the glass in the ground?
Oh, that took me 2 or 3 days.
Wow.
Because I had to do that by hand, because there's unfortunately no machine to do that.
And we're talking days. I mean, you spent
that's like
a lot of time online doing this.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this. Dance.
So what's happening is up here there's just enough space for these guys as hitboxes, and so that's why they're the only ones that are spawning in it. And there's a cat in the center of each of these quadrants. And what they do is, since creepers are scared of cats, they run away from them, and the path is to these ice blocks, which have a water stream pushing them all the way over to here.
Oh, these poor cats! But they're doing the Utter Lord's work.
Well, they're protected. They're protected they're in a cart and protected. So
I have gone inside the farm in observer mode, so I can see the little cats. It's kind of dark, but yeah. And then they drop down.
Yep, and they drop down onto these magma blocks, which automatically kill them, and then they get tossed, and they're getting tossed into
I enjoy that very much.
And the plan for this is to make this double size. I want it to be 32 high to match the chests, and so it'll eventually look like a creeper head.
Oh, nice.
On each side.
And how long ago did you start building the pit? How long has this whole complex been
This
planned?
Started a couple weeks after the server started. So
wow, so over a year, yeah. Wow.
Yeah. But I wasn't online for quite a few months.
Yeah,
so
there was a period where
the major
where you were hibernating.
Work was done 2 months.
And I'm sorry, say that again?
The major work of the pit was done within the last 2 months.
Wow. Okay, what's your next machine here?
Let's see here. Let's go we'll go on to the slime farm. Which is over here. This is the slime farm, which never turn off, which I have to find out some way of turning off. But there's let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4.
So they're also
6,
getting
7, 8,
hot-footed.
9. There's 9 platforms, spawning platforms for all the slimes to spawn. Once they spawn, they'll see these trapped and they'll try to run towards them as fast as possible. And once they do, they just fall down onto the magma blocks and die.
Nice.
And then these rails here will go back and forth, collecting all the drops and putting them into this chest here. And if you come over on this side, you'll see that these two are stopped because this thing is completely full of slimes. And this one's
but the slimes are there still dying.
Yep. And this produces quite a bunch of slimes. Like,
yeah,
I've already have like 4 double chests of slime blocks.
Yeah, if you have any kind of tender heart about the creatures in Minecraft, don't come to the pit. Because it will just make you sad.
Yep.
Alright, what is all this here?
This is the passive mob farm, and that's for the sheep, the cows, the chickens, the horses.
And what cruel fate do you have for them?
What happens is, as you can see,
you
the
drown them.
water. Yep.
You bastard.
What happens is they'll spawn in. The water will.
Oh, laggy.
Yeah. When they go on and off, it starts to lag because there's so many of them.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as when they spawn in, the water's on a timer. So every about 2 minutes or so, the water will come in, push them all to the center. And one of my plans was to either portal them to the nether side and kill them on that end. But I decided not to do that because it would just be too much work to get the drops back onto this side. So all they do is they get pushed onto the mega box in each of these containers, and all their drops go into a hopper line, which is below us, which connects each of the 9 containers to this setup over on the left here, which is a item elevator.
Holy moly!
Which takes them over to this sorting system for all the possible drops.
Where did you learn to do this?
The item elevator and the item sorters and the farm itself. The farm, the peasant mob farm, I got from DanManMtn. I think that's his username on YouTube. He's one of the SciCraft users.
Gotcha.
And so he and like many others make Minecraft tutorials, and that's where I got that from. This is just a standard item sorter that you can see any tutorial about. Many. I forgot who. It's the original person, but I can't think of their name. Maybe Impulse SV or something like that.
By the way, drink when I say gotcha, everybody. That's really amazing. I mean, that's.
If you look into the chats, like this one's completely filled already with some beef. This one's completely filled with mutton. It was filled with pork chop, but I traded them already for emeralds. And all the way down through this, we get the chicken, we get feathers, we get leather from the horses and the cows, we get sheep wool. Every once in a while, I have to go up here and get a pink one, because pink ones are the very rarest.
Wow, that's really...
and those are mostly for trading with the villagers also. And over on the end here, we have the iron farms.
And do you get do you get a good amount of iron?
I do when I'm actually AFKing, and I've fallen into a hole.
Yeah, that's the biggest problem with iron farms on the server, is that, you know, if they're built far enough away, I just fell through the whole thing, but you can see how that works. If you build them too far away from where people are, where you are, they just don't work.
Yeah, you have to be around them, just like any regular mob farm. You have to be within a certain distance of them.
But there's a lot of dead iron farms lying out in the middle of nowhere.
Yep.
On the server.
And this one is I plan for this to have, I think, 3 or 6 more. I think 3 more is probably the max, because there's a certain distance that they have to be away from each other before they start interacting and becoming just one, and you don't want that.
Right.
So 3 more. They're not all in all currently being used. The bottom 3 are active, and I think the very far left one is. The other 2 don't have any villagers in the boxes, so they don't count as actual villages, so they don't spawn any iron golems.
Gotcha.
And the far right wall is going to be, I think, houses. I think I'm going to make a house per chunk.
Wait, which wall? With the
one that has nothing on it.
The clear glass on the ground?
Yeah. And I'm thinking to have a house per chunk. Like a 1 chunk houses.
Gotcha.
And I think I'm going to probably be building a bunch of those along this whole wall. And then let anyone who wants one is that area.
Well, this is pretty amazing. Also, how many beacons do you have here? Because I'm noticing you got...
I have, let's see...
You have 6 stations inside, and each station has... Do they
each station has 6.
And then you have a bunch of stations outside that have a number of them.
Yeah, I'll have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think 6 on the outside, maybe 1 or 2 more that I'm not paying attention to. And so I think that's, 12 altogether, so that's 72 beacons?
Wow. Because, you know, here's the thing. I went to that farm where you farm the, what are they called?
The wither
The
skulls?
wither skeletons. And it took me hours to get one head.
Oh, yeah, the one that the one that closest to the spawn hub.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one takes forever, and that's why I built the one over that I built faster in spawning the wither skulls. Plus every other mob, so it's a general nether mob farm.
I think I'm just unlucky. All the beacons I have, I think altogether I've collected 3 wither skeleton heads, but I have 3 or 4 beacons in my personal builds, and the other heads have come from other players being very generous to me.
Yeah, the first month or so,
or them just giving me a beacon outright.
Yeah, the first month or two, I didn't get any heads at all. But that was before any of the farms were made too. But I would, go fighting the once in a while, but I never got a single one. And Raj had gotten like several, enough to get like 3 or 4 beacons. And so he gave me my first beacon that I was able to get.
Nice.
And then when I came back from my break, I finally got the wither skeleton farm done, and so was able to farm all the skulls, which was, 72 beacons. That means times 3.
200 some odd.
Yeah. Turn 10. 16, something like that, but a whole bunch of skulls to make the...
Yeah, a whole bunch is exactly right. Alright, so what are we looking at here? What's this green...
This is the wither skeleton farm.
Ah.
Where I just place in wither skeletons into the 3, and once you place the soul sand down, the observer here will see it and automatically dispense the skulls onto the soul sand, which will create the wither.
Oh, I see.
And
a little automatic.
It's a little cheating because I can get I've done like 20 withers at once. They pack all up into here in this little corner, trying to attack the cats here. And so I just swing away at them with my sword and stuff, and really cheese it up.
Boy, why does everyone hate cats? This is the Steph Woodburn.
Well, they're protected. There's nothing wrong.
No, I mean, you're protecting them, but I mean...
Oh, you mean like the hosts? Yeah.
Well, everything goes after them. Okay, what's this red building here on the street? Why is it...
oh, that's the quarantine area.
Yeah, why is...
I did want to make amber, but there's nothing in the game that makes it look fringe.
Yes.
What is happening here is this for slimes, and uncovered like this, and be really annoying. So I got the idea of quarantining it and maybe creating some actual quarantine signs like I did with the Gone to Seattle signs, making some fancy looking maps and stuff, and putting them over here and making it look like a legit quarantine area.
There is a cat following you underneath here.
Oh, must have accidentally unset him. I got a parrot somewhere flying around.
Well, is there anything? Have I missed anything, or did we?
That's what I'm looking for.
So what's in the future? You said some houses, maybe a few more iron farms.
Well,
what's the next big thing?
Well, the chests here is what I'm currently working on. These are going to be housing my actual sorting system.
Ah, gotcha. That makes sense. Darn it!
They needed to be this big. They need to be this big because not only because of the number of items I want to hold, but because of the way I want to build it. I want to build it so that you could take a piece of paper, label it like gold, throw it into a chest that will go through the system, tell the system to grab a shulker box of whatever I just said, gold or whatever, and it'll bring it out, and it would bring it over to it'll be over on the ender chest. Over here, right in the doorway, you would throw in this hopper, that piece of paper that's labeled like gold or whatever you want, and then it would go through the system. The system would then bring a shulker box over to this dispenser and dispense it right here, and then you take whatever you want out from it, and then it'll automatically get crushed and thrown back into the system to get placed.
Wow.
And then you would, for whenever I have to actually go into some, just throw into a double chest or something, and then it would automatically sort it for me. So it's a sorting system and a requesting system. The problem is the requesting system is going to be a little bit tough to make because it's going to require...
I'm sorry, say that. You cut out again. It's going to be tough what?
Oh. It's going to be tough because it's going to require a lot of redstone.
Oh,
because
yeah.
There's no easy way to differentiate like each item. Because so you have to make that a whole sorting system over by the pest mob farm. Have to do that. Something like that, like 5-10 times as much.
Wow. So the message you want to leave us with today is you're willing to trade anything for redstone.
Yeah. Actually, I gotta make a witch farm so I can get redstone.
There you go. Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm going to... Or I could trade for villagers to get redstone, but it'd probably be better to have a witch farm. But I think Raj had one, but that wasn't producing much. But I'm not sure if that's because he just made it normally, like you would for any regular farm, or if it was because of some other thing. Because, like I said, Spigot does mess with the farms around here.
Well, this has been really great. This is an amazing build that's still a work in progress. And I appreciate you coming on short notice today. I appreciate you dealing with the technical difficulties we had. Thank you, everybody, for bearing with us. Appreciate you watching. Tune in next Saturday at 10 a.m. for another episode of Minds and Monsters, our D&D game where I DM and a group of us nerdy-ass Minecraft players play D&D. That is, again, Saturday at 10 a.m. here on Twitch. This show, as well as that show, will go up on my YouTube. Search for DanManMtn. You'll see them there. This has been Yours and Mine's. Thank you again for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye. To die, so I'll be rebuilding them at some point.
Gotcha. Ah, gotcha. Drink when I say gotcha, everybody. Gotcha.
And,
gotcha. That makes sense. Darn it,
they needed to be
gotcha.